I think we got some interesting conversation. So we're gonna move on in to the NFL. So if I leave anything out here, I just some notable people. Kenyon Drake got hurt this week. OBJ out for the season. Christian McCaffrey practiced today and he took off the red shirt. So he was back to full contact practices as today. I don't see him being a factor this week due to the fact that they're playing on Thursday. If he's just now practicing contact here on Wednesday, just doesn't seem like it matches up to me. I believe it's like Chicago or something like that.
Yeah, they're not bringing him back.
And I think I think it's at Chicago too.
It's definitely not Chicago.
Definitely not. It's
Chicago played Monday.
Hold on.
Chicago played the Rams on Monday.
Let me double check. Chicago. Oh no, they're playing Atlanta.
So he could play against Atlanta.
So they're playing tomorrow night against Atlanta. I don't know what was I think. Who's playing Chicago?
Chicago just played the Rams on Monday, so that they'll play on Sunday.
Nobody on my fantasy team is playing against Chicago, so I have no idea where I got that from. Anyways, so yeah, he's playing Atlanta on Thursday. I just don't see it though. I think that Davis has played well enough without him, and they've waited this long. I get that he practiced, but he just started getting contact today. I don't see it personally.
I don't see it. You don't need to be stupid with a guy as talented as Christian.
No, I don't think so either. Other big news in football world: Antonio Brown signs with Tampa Bay, and Dez Bryant signs with Baltimore. So 2 blasts from the past receivers coming back to football, I guess.
One of those is a mega blast from the past, and the other one.
Yeah, it is. I forgot Dez Bryant existed, honestly, but he was good. He was good back in the day. I believe he's younger than Antonio Brown too. I think he's 31.
The fun fact is Dez Bryant was offered when the Rams drafted Aaron Donald with the first pick. The Rams had the 13th pick, and Dallas had the 14th pick, and they were going to swap picks. No, they weren't even going to swap picks. It was the St. Louis Rams were going to trade the 13th pick for Dez Bryant, and the Cowboys said no. And I can tell you they regret that decision because they would have drafted Aaron Donald at 13, and Dez Bryant wasn't good 2 years later.
So I, in my fantasy football league this year, definitely have struggled. We're just going to look the other way on that one. But my team was stacked coming out the gate, but it just hasn't worked out. I'm a Christian McCaffrey owner, so a lot of us feel that. But
the Michael Thomas Christian.
In our little group chat for fantasy football, our commissioner posted something, and I don't remember the exact record, but it was basically saying that the Cowboys are the only team that's been just as bad as the Jets. Their record is just as bad as the Jets over the last few years.
That
I could look it up, but I don't feel like it.
I feel it doesn't make the most sense. But
there'd be a lot of scrolling here to find this.
It's not that big of a deal. That doesn't make any sense to me because Dallas.
So he said over the last 20 games, 2 teams have the same record of 7-13, and those 2 teams are the Jets and the Cowboys. So over the last 20 games, the Cowboys are just as bad as the Jets.
Okay, well, 20 games, I was gonna say.
There you go.
Like years. So 20 games makes sense.
I couldn't remember exactly the time frame, but so yeah, the Cowboys and the Jets are the same team. So.
Well, we learned that Dak Prescott's going to get paid.
But see, that's I don't know. That's the thing is they've been holding out on paying Dak for the last few years now. Really, this contract talk has been the last couple of years now, and he still hasn't got it. And he continues to get better and continues to perform, but the team still doesn't win.
Well, he's gonna go somewhere.
Yeah, no, I know that's a lot of money. That's what's insane is that team is really talented on the offensive side of the football. They just can't win games, and a lot of people are blaming the coach.
Do you see their defense?
Yeah, that too, but
they're like breaking records. I swear. They're allowing like an NFL record like 36.5 points a game. Hey, what are you gonna do?
Start Antonio Gibson last week against him. That's what I did, and he went off. It worked.
Exactly. They can't stop anybody, and Dak's out here dropping. One of their wins is he dropped like 45 against Atlanta and like scored like 5 touchdowns in the second half. It's like they're terrible.
And then they got blown up by Cleveland, but then pulled the game back because they were good enough to score that many points. So it's like, man, if you wouldn't have given up 50 billion points to the Browns, you would have easily won that game. The most
is when they finally got back into the game. They returned a punt for a touchdown.
Yeah, that momentum killer. Yep.
So.
All
Pretty
right.
much what we all know is Cowboys suck.
All right. So this is not something I planned on, but we're gonna pull it up.
Okay.
All right. So this is not something I planned on, but we could. Do we want to play a little game here? This is totally off the top of my head. We can go through the games of the week, and we're gonna say who we think wins. So we can keep score. We can keep score. Who gets more teams correct on a week to week basis? So we're here only. I guess we're gonna start here midweek, week 8. So the first one tomorrow night is the Falcons at Carolina. So Falcons at Carolina. Who are you going with here?
Do I need to write this down, or are you just gonna write?
I'm typing it here on the side over here, so I'm good. We'll have it up.
Sorry, so, I just pulled in my driveway, and then they backed out.
Sorry, all right, so Falcons at Carolina playing on Thursday night. How you feeling about that game?
I'll go first this time, I guess, and then we'll just go back and forth. Okay. I'm gonna go with Carolina at home.
Oh, Carolina at home.
Carolina at home. Good defense. First year coach, and they're 3-4, but
Falcons are known as a choke fest.
Yeah, Falcons
known as a choke fest.
Well, Falcons should have at least 3 or 4 wins too, but they just can't close out games. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is actually a really tough game to project out because both teams definitely have major flaws and can go any way. I don't know. I feel like the Falcons are due. Like, I feel like they're kind of just due to win a game.
I agree.
Like, they've had a lot of really close games. And so we'll go opposite picks here, just, make it interesting. And I'll go with So you go Carolina, I go Atlanta.
Yeah.
All right. So the next game on the line here is the Vikings at Packers. Packers.
I'm going Packers.
Interesting. So for some reason, and maybe it's the fact that the guy I'm playing this week in fantasy football has like half the Packers. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be one of those weeks where the Packers kind of poop the bed again and the Vikings pull it out somehow. I don't know why. I just got that feeling that the Vikings played Seattle really, really strong this year. And that to me is very similar to Green Bay and how they have that huge offensive skill. And I would be interested. I think I'm going Minnesota here as the upside. I'm sure that the Packers are the favorite here.
Packers are going to be a massive favorite. The Packers did only beat the Vikings by 9 in week 1, by the way. I mean,
I feel like the Vikings defense has been terrible this year, but I mean, they're capable and they've shown it. I mean, they held Seattle earlier in the year. I think for some reason I just got this feeling, and maybe it's wishful thinking because I want to see all these Packers players fail against me in fantasy football, but I'm really banking on Minnesota here.
We might need to pick this segment up, or we'll.
All right, we'll pick it up. So next game, Titans at Bengals.
Titans.
Yeah, I guess I got to go that direction too. We'll both go to. They are. They're a solid team. I think the Bengals have the ability to surprise people, but I don't see it here.
I like the Bengals.
He's been very good fantasy wise. All right, Jets at Chiefs. I feel like this is a pretty easy one. Are we both? I don't see the Jets picking up their win here. I'm see that.
All the favorites so far.
Yeah, we're gonna pick the Chiefs. Colts at Lions.
Lions.
All right, I'll go Colts. I think the Colts here. I don't know. I think the Colts figure it out.
I'm really high on the Lions this year. I had the Lions in the playoffs and second in the NFC North.
So do you see them as a comeback team as they've kind of struggled?
They're 3-3, so I wouldn't really put them in that. I wouldn't call it comeback as a 500 team.
I still think they're disappointing, though. I think that people thought they'd be a lot better.
Well, they're like 10 seconds away from being 4-2. So
that's true. All right, Steelers at Ravens.
Steelers at Ravens. I'm gonna go Baltimore.
Oh, interesting.
Just because they're home, and I also think they're the better team, but Pittsburgh just hasn't lost yet. But I think
Pittsburgh's defense is good, and Baltimore's offense has struggled this year. Like, they are not looking like the same team right now.
Yeah, but you have to remember, I believe Baltimore's only loss is KC, so they're
still I don't know, they just don't seem to be firing the way they were. That's kind of the thing.
I don't think that was possible.
Well, that's true. That is true. I mean, as far as fantasy goes, as I keep saying, I mean, Lamar Jackson has been just about useless to anybody that drafted him too early. So I'll go Pittsburgh in this one. So we got some separation here. So Rams at Dolphins. Tua will be starting in that game.
I'll go Miami.
I I think I gotta go.
Miami.
I think I gotta go Rams. I think the Rams are too good defensively for a guy to come in and win in his first game. I think he's talented. I just don't see it here. I think that the Rams are too good to allow that to happen.
I agree, but I like Miami. I like their coach a lot.
Okay.
I think he might be one of the better coaches in football, and people might think I'm crazy, but he held that team together last year when after they traded everybody and they were losing every game by 40 points and they won like 4 or 5 games. The fact that they didn't go 1-15 last year was unbelievable. He did an unbelievable job after the entire team threw a fit and asked to get traded.
It was pretty ridiculous. They all kind of acted like giant stuck-up babies.
I know, and then that shows how good of a coach he is, though, because even after they traded their best players, they won games and they beat the Patriots and changed the entire playoffs by beating the Patriots late in the season.
All right, well, speaking of beating the Patriots, the next game is Patriots at Bills. The Bills have struggled offensively, but the Patriots have also been pretty bad offensively.
I'm going Patriots.
Oh.
Just because.
Hey, dude.
I mean,
that game is always interesting. No matter how bad the Bills have been in the past, they've always played the Patriots really well.
Yep.
The Bills have struggled. The Patriots have struggled. I think I'm gonna go Bills here, especially for the possible pick up a point there on you. Try and pick up a point.
I like how we're both choosing a lot of different games, and we've both chosen upsets. I think you've chosen more upsets than me. Anyway.
I like the upsets. All right, Raiders at Browns.
Raiders.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Raiders as well here. I think they're a good team this year, and
I think they're very good.
I think that they're being overlooked a lot of times because KC's in their division.
I think OBJ's distraction will hurt Cleveland, like him not being there. And I'm not saying as like a distraction as an annoyance. I mean the fact that he requires pretty much a double team on every play.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a big part of the offense this year.
He
wasn't classic OBJ, but he was definitely a big part of that offense.
He still changes the game every time he's on the field because you have to double him. Just like if Tyreek Hill's hurt for the Chiefs, it is a big deal.
All right, I think that this is in my mind this is an easy one. Yet every time these two teams play, it's always interesting. The Chargers at Broncos.
Justin Herbert and Drew Lock, baby.
Herbert is so good.
In Denver.
At
the Mile High Stadium.
I picked up Herbert, and I am immediately now starting him because he is so good fantasy-wise.
I don't believe that they are allowing a single person in that stadium, and I'm going Denver.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going for the Chargers. I thought that would be... I don't know. I think that they're just a much better team in this situation.
Agree, but I actually have them as like that's like an upset to me. They're definitely the worst team. Drew Lock's played worse.
This is the matchup for them.
Herbert was going to be a piece of crap, and God, he's a freak. The passes he's making are not like, oh, I'm just like when Robert Griffin's rookie year when he was just throwing.
He is throwing
this
darts.
Guy is throwing dimes everywhere. I love him. I got him playing bad this week. As like
I sure hope not. I started him.
Yeah, he's 100% going to play bad because you started him. So
probably, honestly, that is the definition. I told my entire league if there's any NFL players they wish poor performances on, just trade them to my team because that is guaranteed. I trade for Tyreek Hill, and the first week he plays for me, he gets 5 points.
All right.
Anyways, all right. We've got 4 games left. Saints at Bears.
Saints at Bears. I'm big on the Bears down train. I think the Bears are going to blow it. So
I think so too.
Saints.
I am also going Saints. I think that the Bears just have too many question marks at quarterback now. I think Foles is kind of he looked awful last week. He was lost. And so I think that the Saints are just too good and the Bears are just trending the wrong direction.
I love both of the Bears quarterbacks.
This is a good one here. 49ers at the Seahawks.
I know.
This is a tough one. This is defense versus offense.
This is game of the year like every year during the regular season.
This is defense versus offense
every year. That is just bonkers. Like last year, I think San Fran stuffed Seattle at the 1 to clinch the first seed in the postseason. If they lose that game, Seattle got the 1 seed. And then that made their road easy, and they walked to the Super Bowl and lost. But
San Francisco doesn't look like the same team to me. That
they've also lost
a lot of injuries. Yeah, a lot of injuries. A lot of I don't know. They just things aren't clicking right. and something's
going
off
Seattle.
there. I think I'm also going Seattle, but I don't think it's a
Seattle had a
game.
bad week though.
I don't think it's a game that Seattle plays tremendously well like they have. I think that they do win it though.
Seattle just play bad?
Seattle, I don't know. All I know is that
Yeah, they
Tyler
just
Lockett got
lost
me
to
53
Arizona
points.
in OT, and I believe they blew that. I think they actually had a good chance there. So, anyways, go.
So yeah, I guess we're both going Seattle there. 2 games left. This is an interesting one. This is Injury City, Cowboys at Eagles.
Yeah.
Good God.
City.
Good God.
So here you go. I'm going Eagles.
Yeah, this is probably one of the I mean, the Cowboys are on their second string, third string, whatever quarterback. Their third quarterback now. I mean, they're
not even bringing another one, by the way.
They've got all the talent. Their punter, I guess, is going to be the backup.
They're going into the game with one.
That is something else. I don't know. I think I guess I gotta go Eagles here as well. I just don't.
I'm going Eagles because Cowboys now can't score, and they have the worst defense in the NFL. They're going to go 2-14.
When you don't have a quarterback, when you lose your starting quarterback, it's huge. But then you lose your backup too. You're really just kind of screwed here. I don't think they're stand
screwed
a
regardless
chance.
because their defense was too bad. When you lose your starting quarterback, your defense is that bad. I literally think they're going 2-14. I think they're losing out.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. All right, last one I think is a pretty obvious one, unless you're thinking upset city here, is Buccaneers at the Giants.
Tom Brady, the GOAT. I'm taking Bucks.
I mean, you always think that at some point these really bad teams are going to upset somebody really good. It seems to happen all the time, but I got to go Tampa Bay here too.
The Giants beat Tom Brady because that's what they do.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to pick the Giants this year. They're just bad.
Daniel Jones runs the ball 90 yards for a touchdown and falls.
Rip. Rest in peace, Daniel Jones.
At least he didn't fumble on the play.
All right, so I have that written down. I will have to keep track of that somewhere.
I have a couple topics I want to bring up for football. We can just make quick shoot questions.
Little bangers.
I'm listening 4 teams here. Legit contenders. Are they legit contenders? Titans.
Am I answering it one at a time here? Okay.
Yeah, answering one at a time.
The Titans.
Legit contenders. Titans.
Oh my gosh. For some reason in my mind, I say no. Like, I don't know what it is, but something in my mind just says that they are overperforming. Like, that they are not as... I don't know if it's because Pittsburgh kind of tossed them around. Like Pittsburgh looked really good against them.
I thought that game was really close. Anyways, I'm going yes.
It was close. It was 27-24, but it never felt close. Like, when I was watching it, I felt like... I don't know. I don't think they are. I just something about it. Something doesn't feel right.
Hey, that's fine. We'll try. Like I said, we'll try to hit these. Browns.
No.
Colts.
No.
Bills.
Man, if you asked me this after like week 3 or 4, I'd say yes, but now they're trending in the wrong direction now. This is tough. I like Josh Allen a lot though, so I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say he turns it around. I think he's athletic and he's a god, let's be honest.
I'm going yes. I like
Let's
Josh Allen.
yes also. I don't want to say no to everybody.
Oh, you were. I went 2 and 2. You were about to go in 4. All right, quarterbacks. You have to choose one of them.
Okay.
You have to pick one of these guys as your quarterback for the next 3 years. Drew Lock, Gardner Minshew, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. I believe these are all 2nd or 3rd year guys. Sam Darnold may be a 4-year guy. Drew Lock, Gardner Minshew, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield.
I'm going to be honest with you. This is really, for me, this is only a 2-horse race here at all. Like, in my mind, the only 2 that I'm even thinking about are Gardner, because that dude has surprised me. I don't know. I've always been big on him. I think I'm kind of one of those people that buys into the quirkiness. Like, he's got the mustache going. He's got all the, I mean, there were the memes going when he came out last year. I'm into that stuff, so I'm a buyer on him. I'm all for it. And then my other one, I'm blanking now. The last one. Yeah, Drew? Baker. I'm going Baker. I think that I don't know. I don't think Drew Lock. I don't think Drew Lock's that good. I don't. So I would of those, I guess.
You gotta pick one.
I guess I'm going Gardner because I feel like he's.
I'm going Lock.
Interesting. Interesting. I don't know. I don't something
Health
about Drew.
Health is also isn't a question. So
I don't know. Drew Lock just when I watch him play, it doesn't excite me.
If you have to pick one team that's going to turn it around, we talked about this. I don't know if we talked about it at the beginning or before recording. One team is going to turn the season around. Who is it? Who's going to go and who's going to be a team that's got 2 or 3 wins or less and is going to win 9 or 10 games? That means they're going to have to go at least 7-3 the rest of the way. So you'll probably need to pull up the standings.
That's what I did. I just pulled the standings up so I could look at.
So my team, if there's anybody, and if they count, I kind of said they didn't count it earlier because you said if they turn it around, and I said, well, they're 3-3. The Detroit Lions, I'm very high on the Lions. I think the teams I wanted to say that turn it around are all 3-3. I wanted to say Miami could do some damage. I wanted to say Detroit could do some damage. I want to say Vegas could do some damage, but they're all 3-3. I don't know. But I'm gonna if we're gonna count 3-3, I'm going Detroit. Detroit, and I'm a believer in Stafford. I like Stafford. I'm a believer in the team. I just like their roster. I think it was really well put together roster. They're in a tough division with the Vikings, Bears, and Packers, but I got them in second in the playoffs.
My initial thought on teams that come back. The first thing I did was look at the NFC least. Because my thought was one of those teams is going to have to win, and the other one gets to play the other 3 of them. So, I mean, you would think that there's some wins there, but nobody on that list really gets you going and makes you have any confidence at all.
Exactly. The winner of that division could win 6 games.
So when we say comeback team, are we saying they just become better or they're becoming a playoff team?
They start winning. A good team that's bad. Like a team that you were talking about because you're really high on their quarterback is San Diego. All of a sudden, a team that's 2-4 wins a lot of games, and all of a sudden they're 9-7 and they're in.
Well, I don't think that this team is going to end up in, but a team that I think is a lot better than they're playing is the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings are a 1-5 team. I think that they're I would think they're a much better team than do I think they're going to make it to the playoffs? I don't know about all that. That would be crazy, impressive, but I do think that they're going to start winning a lot more games and they're going to be taken a lot more seriously, which is why I had them beating the Packers, is because I think that they're going to start showing up here the second half of the season. If I were going to pick a surprise playoff team, I mean, maybe like Carolina at 3-4 when Christian McCaffrey comes back. I mean, we saw what those wide receiver weapons could do when Cam was out of there and someone else was in there. And I think Teddy Bridgewater is talented. I mean, I think that that's a team that could be a surprise, kind of 500 team that turns it around as well.
Okay. The other team I was thinking there is the Chargers, like I said, but any team that goes from good to bad.
Team, I think the obvious one's the Bears. I think the Bears are trash. I think they're awful.
I got a good buddy at work who's a big Bears fan, and I had them finishing 4th in their division. No, 3rd. I had them finishing 3rd in the division with 6 wins, and they already got 5, so I'm still sticking with that. I think they're bad.
I don't think the Bears are any good at all. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I think that they
back in that defensive
line they may have
Jackson at safety are.
Eddie
Jackson at safety is.
They may lose the rest. They may lose the rest of the season.
I don't.
I actually think that they have a one. I heard on Sirius XM Fantasy that they do have the easiest schedule for running backs the rest of the season. So if they could get the running game going, that could really change things around for them. But
they're second to last in the NFL. But.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. I'm not a believer in the Bears. The other teams that are winning teams right now, I definitely could see. I could see the Colts falling off at 4-2 as well. I don't trust their quarterback situation.
I think their schedule's easy though.
Yeah, I'm not projecting out here on schedule. This is all just off the top of my.
They're playing the NFC South, and the Jaguars and Texans are in the division.
So. That is true. Something to be said for that.